What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Power Play Pod. I'm your host, Sniper Sky, with my co-host Trupa. What's going on, man?
Good. Out here in Florida, you're over in Utah, but
No, we're
you know,
online now. We're no longer in person.
yeah, we're pumping out our weekly episode for the Power Play Pod. But quite a weekend of football. What did you think?
Honestly, man, I was just telling my wife this the other day. It's just so much fun to have the ability to have football all weekend long and just feel like that's your agenda.
Yeah,
Like,
no, I literally wake up on Saturday morning just more excited than like a kid on Christmas. It's the best time of the year.
yeah, for real. I personally was just having a great weekend. I mean, my wife and I stayed in Friday night, watched football. She's about as big of a college football fan as I am. She's probably better than me, if I'm being honest. We need to get her on the pod. She knows everything. And yeah, Friday night was insane. I was very much looking forward to the Syracuse Stanford matchup. Stanford's a lot better than I thought. Competed all game long. It was crazy. Kyle McCord had a little slow start, then he picked it up. But that pick six hurt him. It did.
Yeah, that duo though is definitely dangerous. It's a duo I like betting on is Kyle McCord and Pena is his name.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
they're explosive, but yeah. But what I think is interesting, and this is just part of sports betting, but Syracuse, Nebraska, and Washington State
Hmm.
were all heavy favorites for Friday night, like minus 300, minus 400. All
Oof.
those teams were playing at home, and guess what? They all ended up losing. So it'd be like that sometimes. You never know in college football.
Well, Washington State ended up winning, but
Oh,
barely.
did they?
Yeah, they barely beat San Jose State. They're 4-0.
Oh, that's right, that's right. But they didn't cover the spread, I believe. That's what I
Yeah,
meant.
they didn't cover the
Yeah,
spread. No, it was
yeah,
only a 2-point win, I
yep,
believe.
yeah. It was
So,
a close one, closer than everyone expected.
oh yeah, it was like 54-52, something like that. I mean,
Yeah.
it was absurd. But it was one of those things where, I've seen this happen in the last like maybe 3 or 4 years with Washington State. They always have some weird high scoring game in their season with some opponent that could be an FCS team, could be freaking Mountain West, whatever. Because San Jose State's Mountain West, dude. San Jose State, and I meant to tell you this in private, but we'll say it on the pod. That team can throw the football. I am
Dude,
gonna take their quarterback and Nick Nash on some spreads.
Nick Nash is a dog.
Dude, and I already took. So what's crazy is I did my research prior before, and I've already won a couple slips with those two guys. And I was afraid Nick Nash wasn't going to touch the ball as much because in the first half he wasn't because he's such a heavy target that they started covering him pretty well. And then before I know it, like in the second half, even though he was maybe like 3 or 4 catches away from what I wanted him to hit, he ended up finishing with like 8 or 9 more catches in the second half. So he doubled what he was supposed to get. So it was actually insane. But I'm like, okay, I'm gonna look into this guy more next week because that was insane. And Eric Brown, the quarterback, there were so many times I was like, dude, this just reminds me of like Mike Leach offense. Just air
Hmm.
raid, you don't freaking run, you just throw.
Yeah, no,
Well,
and I think it's a sleeper duo for sure. And those games they always start super late. They're
yeah.
not ranked, but good
It was
good
like I was
good
staying,
value there.
staying until 1:30 in the morning Mountain Time to finish watching that game. And I recorded a YouTube video that I was going to record right after those games, and I didn't get to start recording until like 1:30 in the morning.
Yep. Now, Sniper, I do have to ask you, what are your thoughts about this Nebraska team after last week?
I don't care what happens, man. Dylan Rail is my guy. I'm riding with that guy all the way through this season. I think he's the real deal. Dylan
You don't
Rail,
think he's overrated?
I don't. I really don't. He obviously has freshman, capabilities. He's gonna make mistakes, but man, I'm when I watched him go out there for 3.5 quarters, he was very impressive. That football team was gonna win the game. The problem with Nebraska is their pass defense is so weak.
Hmm.
They can stop the run. They got some guys at linebacker. Their safety Isaac Gifford is really really good too. He's a returning senior. I think this is his 5th year, maybe if not, it's his actual senior year. So he's got experience. They call that Nebraska defense the black shirts. Such a '90s slogan for them. Like, so they're all about like how gritty can they be on defense, especially stopping the run. It's such old school football, but yeah, I don't know. 3.5 quarters, they were great. They gave up some late stuff, some late touchdowns that kind of hurt their momentum. And then what was funny was watching Raiola. He looked like he was comfortable and good out there, but then the offensive line didn't pick up certain blitzes. They started to pressure him more. And then that's when we saw, oh, he's a freshman. He's not handling this well. Got sacked multiple times. I think their last 4 or 5 drives, it was sack to go into 4th down. He turned the ball over. He fumbled it a couple times. I mean, it wasn't good, but I'm still riding with this guy. This guy's still super good, and he's very dangerous. You cannot sleep on Dylan Raiola.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I agree, and I like betting on those guys. Him and Nair, great duo. I believe both of them hit their overs.
Mm-hmm.
But for those that bet on Nebraska to win, like on a regular sports book, sorry to you. You probably got trapped because they came off a monster win against Colorado the week before. Everyone probably thought, oh, this team's the real deal, and everyone was, oh, they're playing at home. A lot of people probably fell into the trap of, I'm hammering Nebraska at home against Illinois, and different outcome happened. But now I'm still very bullish on Nebraska. I think they'll have a good rest of the season.
Yeah, I am too. And you know what? Historically, they haven't been very good, at least since the '90s. But
Yeah.
I'm riding with them for sure. This is my guy. These are my guys. I'm riding with them. I'm riding with a couple of their receivers, especially their quarterback and Dylan Raiola. I'm confident that this guy's the future of college football. I'm confident in that. Like, think about how we look at Shadir Sanders right now, just throwing, kind of doing whatever he wants. He's kind of got the freedom and ability to play. I really think this is what Raiola is going to turn into. Like, we saw him a couple times in the game calling plays at the line of scrimmage. It's impressive.
Yep.
We don't understand how underrated that is.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
And he's in college football in the Big Ten. He's calling plays at the line. Matt Rule trusts this guy. I think the Nebraska boosters, which are psychotic. If you guys know anything about Nebraska football, these guys are insane. I know this because my wife worked there. But, yeah, I mean, they trust this guy. So if this guy, Dylan Raiola, can step up day after day, prepare, which he's fallen in love with the process. He says that multiple interviews. He loves the game. He loves the process. That's the type of guy you want as your quarterback. You don't want no dude named Heinrich, being some tight end looking guy playing quarterback the last couple of years, and all they're running is like read options, and half the time, not even half the time, 80% of the time, you see the quarterback sneaking all the time, and I don't know, it's just too old school for me. It's not fun to watch, and my wife and I were even just saying it's actually funny that this team is. You look forward to watching Nebraska football now. They're fun to watch.
Absolutely.
They keep you on your toes offensively. Like, it's actually crazy the concepts that their route running's better. I'm like, holy crap! Just already a year and a couple games in, Matt Rule's turned this program around, and they're going to keep going.
It's a completely different team. So Dylan Raiola, he's a lock. Let's transition into the USC Michigan game. I don't know if you got a chance to watch that game. I hammered USC, and I could not believe Michigan won that game. You know how many yards that quarterback ended with? It was less than 50. Yes, it was less than 50 passing yards, and they still won the damn game. I don't know how Michigan did it. They just ran the ball every single play down their throats, and USC just couldn't adjust. They couldn't beat the O-line. I don't know what it was, but terrible performance.
Terrible. And that's funny that you say that. So I actually won a couple slips on some of my parlays, and one of the slips I won was from that Michigan USC game. I took Miller Moss. This was the funniest part. I took Miller Moss over on his passing yards. Miller Moss was at exactly 258 yards. His over under was 258.5. He was exactly at 258 yards with, I think it was less than 30 seconds left for Michigan to convert. and get a first down, but they had to. Didn't they punt or something?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they had to punt, right? And it gave USC a chance to go down the field. So, yeah, all Michigan had to do was somehow get the clock to run down and end the game. And Miller Moss would be stuck at 258 yards, and I wouldn't have hit the slip. I was so freaking out. I was yelling at my wife. I'm like, I hope USC gets the ball back right here. I hope Michigan scores, that way USC gets the ball back and has a chance. And guess what? Michigan scored. I was like, great, Miller Moss gets the ball back. There's no way he doesn't throw for one more freaking yard. So that's all I had to do, and I cashed out on the slip.
Let's go.
I already had Woody Marks correlated with him because I know Woody Marks gets a lot of touches. He went over his rushing yards. I knew their running back Mullings was a guy that was a threat to always touch the ball and run upfield. I did not have any confidence in Orgy, so I actually put him in my slip, but I took him on his under, and he was very much under. 32 passes.
That was the easiest lock of the weekend, probably.
And for that 4-man slip, it was a 10.14x.
Wow.
So cashed out on that one.
Take it to the bank.
Taking it to the bank. It was good. But yeah, Orgy, because I knew he was the backup quarterback technically. They rotated quarterbacks. I was like, I don't really trust this guy. But I felt like it was still going to be a good game, but they were just going to pound the rock. And that's exactly what they did.
Money.
Yeah.
Michigan, they can run the ball. Typical Big Ten team. I absolutely hate Michigan. I'm an Ohio State fan, and I put my life on this. Ohio State will beat Michigan Thanksgiving weekend. Mark my words. All right.
And you're going to that game, right?
I'll be at that game. Ohio State is going to make an example out of Michigan this year.
Ooh.
No doubt about it.
Ooh, I like that. And hey, for those that are watching, super unbiasedly, Trupa is going to have some slips ready to go for that game. So you better be following the squad because we will.
We're gonna hammer that game. Going all in.
I love it. And you know what's really funny, Trupa, is I found a stat watching that game, USC Michigan. They said that USC's defense this year versus last year's like night and day. Last year they were ranked like, oh my gosh, like 34th or something like that in the country in terms of like all defense, right? So like the yards given up and passing, total offense, whatever. This year they're ranked like 7th or something, like just a massive difference. I'm sorry, I lied completely. It was last year they gave up 34 points per game on defense. This year they've only given up 10 points per game, and this was prior to the Michigan game. So
I will be fair. We haven't really played anyone like too tough this season,
right?
So I'll give them that for all the haters that say, "Oh, they played nobody." We really haven't, but don't worry. We're Ohio State is winning the Natty this year. Mark my words.
That's very bold. I don't know. Oh my gosh.
This is the year, all right. So Georgia, no chance. Bama, Jalen Milrose, a bum. The only team I think could keep up with Ohio State is Texas. But
I'm very much questioning your pick right now. I don't know if I trust your freaking head coach, Kyle Day. I don't know if I trust that guy. Don't worry about it, dude. This guy ran off Kyle McCord, and look what Kyle McCord's doing now in Syracuse. Still trust that guy?
Yeah, we've gotten a lot of beef. We've gotten a lot of hate, I guess, because we let go of Joe Burrow, we let go of Quinn Ewers, we let go of I think Dylan Raiola at one point was going to sign with Ohio State.
Yeah.
We didn't land Cam Ward, which now he's at Miami popping off and will probably be in the running for Heisman.
Oh my gosh.
And then we let go of Kyle McCord. So, shoot, when you're one of the best schools in the country and you have five-star recruits, I mean, you got to let some of them go. So.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. Keep telling yourself that. I just don't understand that Ohio State football team. I've never been able to really get behind them. Personally, I've always liked watching Michigan more, but I'm not a huge fan of them. Maybe it's because I used to live in Ann Arbor for a little while in my life, so I've always kind of thought the Michigan culture was cool. But I've never been super obsessed with Kyle Day and his coaching techniques. Just haven't. I mean, really, the only guy that stuck around at Ohio State and did good was C.J. Stroud. And then obviously Marvin Harrison. You guys had a top receiver. But yeah, it's the
Garrett
key.
Wilson, Chris Olave,
All right, I'll give you with Olave and Garrett Wilson. You guys,
Ezekiel Elliott.
I don't like Zeke, so no. Zeke is back on the Cowboys too, which is very interesting.
Yeah, very interesting.
But yeah, I don't know. I just can't get behind this Ohio State team at all. But I'm glad you ride with your guys, man. You ride and die with them for sure.
Hey, I'm supportive of your Nebraska Huskers up until we smoke them in a couple weeks. But we'll get back to the Big Ten in a little bit. Let's talk about one guy that you and I talked about last week. We were very confident in that ended up being an absolute disappointment, and that was our guy Alan Bowman on Oklahoma State. Crushed us.
Yeah. Oh my
Tell
God.
me your thoughts about the Utah-Oklahoma State, because that game lost me a lot of money.
Yeah, same. It's crazy because, man, just watching Alan Bowman, I get it. Like that's a quick hurry up offense that Oklahoma State runs with Mike Gundy. But man, just like Alan Bowman, just slow down. Like let the receivers develop their route and then throw it. Don't just freaking catch it and then throw it right away. I mean, there's times you do that, obviously, for quick out routes or quick hitch routes, whatever. But oh my gosh, it was like they would hurry the line. I mean, they wouldn't even get to the line in more than 7 seconds. It took them like 7 seconds to get to the line, hike it, and the ball is already out of Bowman's hands in less than a second. I mean, it's actually insane. I'm like, dude, develop the route, develop the play, then throw the ball. Let everything develop, and then you can actually have open receivers and yardage. And on top of that, just moving the ball down the field. Dude, I wish I kept track on a tally, but there were so many 3 and outs that I was getting so frustrated.
Many 3 and outs. Like they would get the ball right before half, and I was like, all right, this is the drive where he's going to pick up a bunch of yards. His line was at like 270, 275. He's got 3 studs on offense on the receiving core. And then even if he doesn't have to throw it, he's got what's his name? Owens? It's Owens.
Yeah,
No, that's the receiver. Ollie Gordon.
Oh, okay, yeah.
He's the running back. So even if you don't throw, you have a running back that can get the ground game going. And I don't know if Oklahoma State just didn't prepare for Utah because they thought Cam Rising was going to be out, or if Utah's defense is just really, really good. I'm not too sure, but very, very disappointing game for Oklahoma State.
Yeah, it was. I mean, it's so funny because it's like when he had those last couple drives, Alan Bowman, you watch, like he was actually letting the routes develop. He made better throws for the most part. Finally got some yardage and threw a touchdown pass or two, and it's actually insane. You look at your spread for his over-under on passing yards, and it's like, all of a sudden he went from 70 yards that he had to now like 180. It's like, whoa, dude, you could have been doing this all game in a couple drives, but you just kept going 3 and out. And I'll be honest, man, as much how frustrating that was, I know I picked the right plays. You don't go 3 and out like that all the time in a football game. Most people develop
at home.
I know, at home, like we had everything on our side in terms of like what we were trying to do statistically and analytically to pick this game apart. But give credit to that Utah defense. They played way better. They forced them to do stupid stuff, forced them to get uncomfortable, and they went 3 and out all the time, and Utah had more offensive possessions, more time.
Yeah. If I had to pick between Isaac Wilson and Zach Wilson, I'm picking Isaac Wilson all day. I'm more confident in Isaac Wilson than Zach Wilson. Like I think Zach Wilson's so overrated, and for the time being, while Cam Rising's injured, I'm taking Isaac Wilson all day. He'll get the job done. He can run. So that's my take for Utah right now.
I'll take Isaac Wilson as a QB, but I'll take Zach Wilson as the better looking brother to date my mom.
Hey, I'd probably agree with that too.
Yeah, that's a Cougar right there. Hey, there's a reason why Zach went to BYU. He's always wanted to be a Cougar, go after the Cougars.
Oh yeah, he knew what he was doing.
He knew what he was doing. It was a whole plan in this process. And little bro Isaac going to Utah just was always going to be a Ute. Still family ties. Zach always just wanted to be a little rebel and be a Cougar. That's all it was.
Yeah, no, Zach's probably smarter up here and has more game.
Yeah.
But Isaac Wilson for QB for sure. So.
Yeah, and Zach was always chasing after the Cougar tails at LaVell Edwards Stadium.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Had to. That's all he's ever wanted to go after in his life.
Yeah,
BYU was.
Which hats off to BYU for upsetting Kansas State. They had a phenomenal game at home. And do you see that punt return, by the way?
Yeah, pretty insane, and kind of ridiculous too. How a team can't make a tackle with somebody literally going on the other side of the field, looping around. And obviously, that guy was dog tired. Can we just talk about the tweet that St. Bill Snyder made about the BYU and Kansas State game? Have you seen that?
I didn't see it. What did it say?
Oh my gosh, funniest thing I've ever seen. St. Bill Snyder on Twitter. He says, "If K-State loses to BYU, I'll shove a beefy 5-layer burrito up my ass."
There's no way.
Oh yeah, and you could see at the BYU game too. All the students. Gosh, I mean, I remember seeing on Instagram, the BYU Instagram page, goated, by the way. They said in a caption after that touchdown, it was like, "Live Moss." And Taco Bell student section, I think, at LaVell Edwards. And because they get like different incentives. So, yeah, I don't know. All I know is that after that tweet, I think a lot of the students had some signs or something like that about the beefy 5-layer burrito shoving up the ass.
BYU should have given the whole student section free beefy layer burritos afterwards or something.
Oh my gosh, yeah. I mean, there's so many funny tweets that happen because of that prediction of like, oh yeah, if K-State loses to BYU, I'm gonna do this. Like, people are just so ridiculous on the internet.
It's a whole meme now.
Yeah, no, seriously, that was the funniest thing though. Yeah, actually, I'm pulling up the BYU thing right now. You have the picture right here. You see Kingston literally holding his hands up, and he's going, and then the whole caption says "Live Moss."
That's too funny.
Oh yeah. And dude, have you been to LaVell Edwards Stadium?
Once.
Okay, I've been there a couple times. It's crazy, man. Those BYU students go crazy.
Oh yeah.
I don't think there's really a lot of fans in the country like BYU fans.
They call it God's school. So hey. Well, cool. Let's transition into this week. We got a lot of exciting stuff. We have Thursday night football, which I don't know if you watched the Cowboys game. Cowboys against the Ravens.
I did.
Ravens smoked them, although the Cowboys did almost make an epic comeback. But Thursday we have Cowboys at the New York Giants. Giants just came off a huge win on the road against the Browns. But what do you think about this Cowboys team? Do you think Dak Prescott has what it takes to lead this team to the playoffs, or you think this whole Cowboys dynasty is kind of over?
It's over. Cowboys suck.
No chance?
No chance. I do not believe in Dak Prescott. I still don't understand why he's in Dallas. They should have moved on from him a long time ago. He does not get it done in the playoffs. He is super ugly out there with his whole body language and the way he plays football. I can't stand watching the guy play. I think
you don't like when he says, "Here we go."
Yeah, his cadence sucks. Okay, here we go.
And here we go, and then throws a pick.
Yeah, dude, I freaking hate it. There's a lot of QB cadences in the league I like, and his is the worst one for sure. I hate listening to him. Oh man, I hate it. Yeah, Dak Prescott's terrible. Does not deserve a starting QB position, let alone for the Dallas Cowboys. He's just disappointing the franchise in that point. And if Jerry Jones wants all the control as a GM slash owner, dude, you can do a lot better than Dak Prescott. Come on.
Oh, yeah.
Like, go trade for a younger QB if you believe. I mean, I don't know, dude. Like, I don't know. I might have more confidence in Bryce Young than I do in Dak Prescott as a QB for Dallas Cowboys.
Honestly, I would just let Dak Prescott go and then call Arch Manning and say, hey, you're coming to the NFL right now and you're taking over Dak Prescott's position. We need you. That's what I would do.
Yeah, Dak is terrible. He's not smart. I've never, gosh, I don't know how they win the regular season the way they do, but man, when it comes to playoff time, especially, it's like a chicken with his head cut off. Like, he just doesn't know what he's doing.
Yeah, no, 100%. I will say that if there's a team worse than the Cowboys, it is the Giants. So I do believe it's kind of which team is worser of the two. But for
Yeah,
Thursday night football, I do predict the Cowboys to obviously have a big bounce back game. I think they do handle business against the Giants. The Cowboys defense has not been the same defense that we've seen in the last couple of seasons. But I think they are going to get back on track, and I think they're going to give Daniel Jones a hell of a time on Thursday night. I think a lot of sacks, maybe one or two picks, a couple fumbles, and I predict this game to be pretty low scoring, and I probably take. So Cowboys are sitting at -4.5 favorites. I probably take them 17-point favorites. I think the Cowboys have no problem.
yeah. Um, I agree. I think Cowboys should win this game. I would not be surprised though if Daniel Jones has a little coming alive party because I like him and Malik Neighbors. The
Malik
connection
Neighbors, he's a dog.
he is. I personally think Cowboys just suck. I'm not confident with them, and they're in New York, aren't they? Or are they in
In New
Dallas?
York, yeah,
Yeah, in
in
New
New
York.
York.
Honestly, at MetLife, I got the Giants on this one. I think it's still gonna be a closer game. I don't think I would say it's probably gonna be I like it says Dallas -4.5 on ESPN. I like flip that New York -4.5.
Okay,
Yeah, I do.
okay.
I think Daniel Jones showed more confidence last game with him and Malik Neighbors. When he has time to throw, he's actually not bad. And I really don't like Daniel Jones that much, but I actually grew a little more confident in the guy this last game. And, I think maybe he's going to start coming alive.
Yeah, no. Honestly, weird things do happen on Thursday night football. So
Yeah.
you never know. Anything's possible, especially in the NFL. I mean, they're professionals, so you can never be so confident on any team on any given night. But should be a good one. Now, there's a big game on Saturday we have to talk about. It's the elephant in the room, and it's good old Georgia against Bama. Huge SEC matchup. What do you think about this matchup? Who are you rolling with? Carson Beck, Jalen Milroe. What are your honest thoughts?
Dude, I think we're going to have a low scoring game. Typical SEC defense, I think Bama's going to win. And I'll tell you why.
Rarely.
I don't think Carson Beck's that good. I really don't. Carson Beck is so disappointing. Jalen Milroe is actually like a little more exciting because he can run.
He's
And
athletic for sure.
yeah, he's athletic. I think with his dual threat opportunity, he's gonna give Georgia more of a fit. I think because Carson Beck has more pocket, I think Alabama defense is gonna be able to read that and just cover the pass game really well. They'll always cover the run game pretty well because that's just how they are. But I think they'll cover the pass game a lot better. But yeah, I don't see over under. What is the over under for the game again?
It's sitting at 49.5 total points.
I'm taking under on that.
I agree. I would take the under as well, but I do have to fade you, and I think Georgia comes out making a statement. Last year, Bama beat them, and because of that loss in the SEC championship, Georgia ended up not making the playoffs.
Mm,
So
right.
Kirby Smart and that Georgia team is playing with a chip on their shoulder. Maybe on paper they're not the same team as last year, but when something like that happens and a team beats you, and that's the reason why you didn't make it to the playoffs and then end up winning the national championship, I think Georgia's coming out hot. They're going into Tuscaloosa. They're coming to make a statement. They're saying, "Hey, we're the better team. We're not going to do any of this. This we're not going to even let you get into the game." I think they're just going to shut them down right away and make a statement going forward. So I'll fade you on that one. I'll take Georgia. You take Bama, but I think we can both agree it's probably going to be under 49.5 total points.
Yeah, under 49.5. But even though that happened last year, I just think if they're going to be in Tuscaloosa, I think Bama's going to squeak this one out. I just don't see Georgia doing it. They're just so disappointing. But they do have a chip on their shoulder, so you do have a case right there. You do have a case. But
Should be a good one.
typical SEC matchups, man. They're just going to be low scoring. It's going to be pound the rock. It's just boring. I've never liked watching SEC football like that.
Yeah.
Personally.
Let me see. What other matchups? What other matchups are this Saturday? There's a couple of good ones. Texas obviously looks phenomenal.
Well, we
They
have Virginia Tech and Miami Friday night. Cam Ward. Let's talk about Cam Ward really quick. That guy's insane.
That guy is insane. He's probably my favorite player in all of college football right now.
Mine too. I'm like thinking in my head going, how did Washington State get that guy? Like, like what a blessing they had the last couple of years. I wish they were able to do more with him, but oh my gosh, the way he's playing right now, Heisman potential, Heisman candidate,
Yep.
and literally gonna play on Sundays for
And
sure.
Sniper. Do you remember in the first episode that we filmed a couple weeks ago, me saying that Miami would be in a top 10 team?
They're ranked 7 right now, aren't they?
They're ranked 7 and they're 4-0, and I said they would win the ACC. So
Okay.
Miami is a sleeper pick. They're not really a sleeper anymore because everyone knows how damn good they are. I don't know if I like him because he airs the ball out, or if because Prize Picks every single week I hammer him and Xavier Restrepo on the over, and the lines are like 320 passing and like 90 yards receiving. But this team is so good. I take the overs every single weekend, and they have yet to fail me. I love Miami. They're at home, and I think they're red hot. I think everyone's talking about the Georgia game, the Bama game, the Texas, the Ohio State. Not really Ohio State a whole lot, but Miami, they're in a bad conference. ACC's horrible conference, but I think Miami can actually do a lot of damage. And with the way that the playoffs are set up this year, I think they could do some damage to a lot of teams that people don't expect.
They'll roll over like the Cals, the Stanfords, the FSUs. They're gonna roll over them. I mean, it's just not even close. I just don't see anybody beating them.
The only team in the ACC that maybe has a chance is Clemson. Now, if you had to pick Clemson or Miami, who are you rolling with?
Oh, Miami.
Yeah, me too.
Klubnik. Klubnik is terrible. I do not like Kate Klubnik, but
Yeah.
I mean, he had a decent game last game, right? But I don't believe in the guy. He's terrible. There's too much hype around him. I can't believe there was a time where in Texas, wasn't it in Texas high school football where it was him and Quinn Ewers going at it or something?
Oh, yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, and everyone was all over Cade Klubnik before Ewers, and it's just ridiculous. Just comes to show like who's going to develop better with time, and I for sure will take Quinn Ewers over Cade Klubnik any day of the week.
Absolutely. Um, did you see the game? Well, not the game winner. Did you see the long bomb Hail Mary from Shadir Sanders?
Yes. Oh my gosh.
Bro, that game was probably one of the most exciting games of the entire week. But
Yeah.
that's the most typical Colorado ending. Chaotic, kind of a shootout, OT type of stuff. But that throw that Shadir had was insane because the play right before it, the receiver, it literally hit him in the chest and he dropped it.
Yep.
And then the very next play, actually, do you remember when was it? Oh yeah, it was DeAndre Hopkins and Kyler Murray. Wait, was it Hopkins or was it Diggs? It was when the Cardinals were playing the Buffalo Bills, like probably 4 or 5 years ago, and Kyler Murray threw a Hail Mary, and then I think it was
Oh,
DeAndre Hopkins.
yeah.
He
Hop,
caught,
Hop caught that.
it was him versus three defenders, and he caught the ball.
Yeah.
That's what that throw reminded me of because he was like rolling out. He's about to get smoked by a lineman, just chucks it up in the air, and then that Colorado guy catches it to tie. But wow,
You gotta
that
love you gotta love the thrill of being in a moment like that. And
in Colorado.
yeah. I think Shadir lives for those types of moments, man. Like he might not be the best quarterback in the country in my opinion, but the dude is a gamer. That's how I like to kind of describe Shadir is the dude's a gamer. He loves football. He he's someone you just cannot overlook. I know people in my close life where they're like, "Oh, Shadir is not that good. He's not going to be in the NFL like that as a QB." You know what? Maybe he won't. But I think right now in college football, he owns a lot of like the pub and the hype, and he thrives off of that. Therefore, when he goes out and plays, he plays with a free mindset. Obviously, his dad's head coach, so he kind of just lets him do whatever he wants as long as he's kind of within a certain style. And I mean, it's so hard to just be able to be under control in those tough moments like that and come out with victories. It's just hard.
I
And he came out and did it.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I compare Shadir Sanders to Jake Paul. All right. Jake
Ah,
Paul has gone into the boxing industry. He's had all the fame, the money, and he sells tickets. Now, is he the best boxer? No, but has his fights so far been entertaining and has he won most of them? Yes. Same thing with Shadir is like, do I think he's going to go to the NFL? Absolutely not. Does he sell tickets? Has he been a part of recruiting people to the school of to Colorado? Yes. Is he exciting to watch? Do more people watch Colorado now because of him? Absolutely. Him and his dad have changed that school. So I think they have the fame and they have the money and the followers. They have the clout, if we want to call it that. But do I think he's a legit like NFL potential QB? I wouldn't say so.
and something with Shadir too, man. Not only with all that clout, he like he. Let's just be honest. The dude's a handsome guy, and he comes from the bloodlines of Coach Prime. Dude, wherever that guy goes around the campus, I'm sure snow bunnies are just going crazy for that
Yeah,
guy.
I saw that video that you sent me on IG, and you
Yeah.
just walk into a restaurant and these girls are just
Oh,
freaking out.
with someone like him too, like, and I haven't really heard anything on the media to where it's like it's confirmed like this guy's like a party animal. Hopefully, he's more about his grind than the parties and the fame. But it's like he's someone where with this NIL world, he's got to be very careful with his conduct off the field. Otherwise, they can just freaking roast him, and that Colorado program will be screwed this year or for the future, or maybe his pro career. Right? I think his dad's got his head on straight enough to where he's like telling like, "Hey, dude, like if you want to do what it takes to be a professional football player, can't be going out like that doing crazy stuff." And we all know Coach Prime was kind of crazy in his time, so he's probably
Yeah,
giving little man some advice like, "Hey, be careful."
yeah.
But we all know Travis Hunter isn't doing anything. The guy's literally in his room, on his pod, on his YouTube,
Playing
playing,
Madden or something.
and then he just goes and plays football. That's it.
Yeah.
So, that's props to guys like Travis Hunter. Like I get it. It's like it could be super like, oh yeah, my personality is like I'm just gonna be online and doing this. But some people really have a tough time with the party scene and then they just
Yeah.
ruin their career. So hopefully Shadir's better than that. But
I do love Shadir's Cybertruck though. His Cybertruck is disgusting. It looks so sick. I don't know. Most people think Cybertrucks are super, super ugly and look like a trash can,
I
but
love.
I think they look so sick. I would love one day. But
Imagine riding that on a college campus. Like,
I would rather drive a Cybertruck than like a what are they called? TRX? Is that what they're called?
yeah, the trucks, the TRXs.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, I'm not a big truck guy. I do like
Yeah,
Cybertrucks though.
they're sick.
But let's transition to a couple more games in college, and then let's do a couple games in the NFL that we like the most to watch out for. So I'll be honest, I'm going to take a West Coast game for one. I like Washington State and Boise State on Saturday night.
Okay.
Okay.
What are your thoughts? Who are you taking?
Okay, so it's at Boise State. We have a 2-1 Boise State team that crushed Portland State this last game. Okay. They had a bye the week before. The week before that, they played Oregon and at Georgia Southern. Boise State's home. Here's the juice. Okay, my wife's a huge Boise State fan, so I get all the juice from her too. So Boise State took the 25th ranking this week. Washington State did not get ranked, and they're 4-0 right now. Okay,
Interesting.
very interesting. So Washington State's going on the road to Boise State on the blue turf, the Smurf turf, and they didn't get a ranking in the top 25. They missed it by literally this much. I think it was by like 2 points or something. However, they do the rankings.
I would have thought that after they beat Washington, they would have gotten a
I know
spot.
for sure. So not only did you beat Washington, but you won a close game against San Jose State. Yeah, I don't know. And you're 4-0. Now a lot of teams in the country are freaking 4-0 right now. So yeah, this is going to be a game to watch. I think Washington State is going to be coming out of the gate pissed that they didn't get a ranking for the week. They're also trying to keep their undefeated record alive. I mean, what the committee really did was give Washington State all this ammo to go in and get a win on the road, and Boise State does not want to lose this game. They shouldn't lose this game, in my opinion. I think they're better offensively than Washington State. Genty's better. I think QB wise though, John Mateer's way better than Maddox Matson. But Mateer
Oh
is
yeah.
he kind of is like an air raid guy, but he will run the football and use his legs. So that's the interesting part to me. I do think Boise State defense is better though. I don't see 50 something points going up again for Washington State. Maybe in the
Yeah,
20s,
no.
but not in the 50s.
Would be interesting to see how well Ashton Genty will be against this Washington State defense.
Yeah, but I don't even think Washington State's defense is that good either. But they're going to be good enough. Last game, Genty had over 120 yards rushing in the first half. He's insane.
Insane.
He's a Heisman candidate for sure. If that committee is not considering Ashton Genty as a Heisman potential candidate, they're blowing smoke up there somewhere.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? It's like
they're smoking crack.
smoking crack. This guy is one of the best running backs in the country, if not the best running back in the country right now. So yeah. Anyways, that'd be my first game I'm really heavily looking at. I think another big game. I just had it. I think Arizona and Utah might be a good matchup.
Yeah,
Because
I think so
Arizona
too.
offensively, Utah defensively. Obviously, we said Georgia, Alabama. Um, and then I think I like a lot the. Oh no.
I like Oregon, obviously over UCLA, but
For some reason.
yeah.
Oh, BYU. Oh, okay, no. Oklahoma State, Kansas State might be a good matchup too. Oregon, UCLA. So yeah, we have some good matches this upcoming weekend, but I definitely think the Washington State Boise State game is one to watch, and then the Arizona Utah game,
Yeah.
as well as the Georgia Bama game.
I think Ole Miss has no problem with Kentucky. Like you said, you don't think Carson Beck's very I mean, that good. And obviously, Georgia almost lost to Kentucky.
Yeah.
Um, but I think Ole Miss at home, I don't think they're going to have the same outcome. I think they're going to smoke Kentucky. I think Kentucky is a team that can run the ball, but kind of like Michigan, but they don't have a quarterback that can throw 200 plus yards a game. So I
Right.
think Ole Miss will handle Kentucky no problem. Um, but yeah, a lot of good games. I mean, there's good games every single weekend, but love
Yeah.
college football. It'll be interesting.
Tell me, tell me your top games to watch for the NFL for the viewers.
So let's see. Let me pull it up. Um,
We already talked about Thursday night
NFL.
game.
I like the Phillies against the Buccaneers. Buccaneers looked horrible against the Denver Broncos. I was
Hmm.
very disappointed with how that game went. It was in Tampa as well,
Hmm.
but I don't know. That should be a good game. I think most people are going to bet on the Eagles, but I think the Buccaneers actually upset the Eagles at home. Um, Another good game. This is a division game. Is the Saints at the Atlanta Falcons? Falcons obviously lost last night. What did you think about um, kind of the play calling of the Falcons last night against the Chiefs?
Oh, kick the field goal, dude. Like 5 point
Kick the damn
game,
field goal.
kick the damn field goal, and they didn't even hit the 2 minute warning yet. It was like there was still like 4 or 5 minutes left. Kick the field goal, make it a 2 point game. Okay, you're forcing the other team to have to go score six, so that way they can make it a full on touchdown score. And what's crazy was if they would have kicked that field goal, they forced um, Kansas City to go 3 and out. They punted it again, and they had a chance to go downfield and try to make something out of it. But at that point, when they did that, it was still a 5 point game, so they had to go down there and score six. You couldn't get down
Yeah.
there in a field goal position, milk the clock, and then bring in one of the best kickers in the league in Young Ho Koo and deliver another field goal. Like when the game is only like a 5 point game, 6 point game, and there's 5 minutes left, kick the field goal, take the points. Atlanta defense isn't bad. They've been handling good. I mean, good defense all game long. It's been a tough game, but I just don't think you can trust your offense enough to go score six on a team like Kansas City Chiefs, who have some of the best
100%.
pass defense in the league. So it's like, I thought that was so stupid. Bring in Young Hoku, kick the field goal, make it. Now rely on your defense, put a little pressure on them to where they have to feel like they got to go score six versus, oh, I can go get in field goal range and kick a field goal and extend the lead. Because at that point, if Kansas City was driving down the field and they kicked another field goal, it'd be an 8 point game. But
Hmm.
it went 3 and out, which was a great scenario for Atlanta. So their defense made a stop. You know, just kind of bad play calling in my opinion,
I
and
agree.
it could have been the difference. I think Atlanta probably could have won that game on a field goal if they would have managed the clock better as well as their decision making for points, but they didn't.
Hmm.
So that was
For
disappointing.
this for this upcoming game, I'm taking Derek Carr over Kirk Cousins. I think it should be a close game. I don't think it will be a blowout on either side, but I
Well, if
like the
Derek Carr plays like
Saints.
he did this last game, it might be freaking ridiculous. He ruined some of my
Yeah,
slow moves. I was very confident in his overs, and his overs weren't even like I think I took him on a couple discounted overs to just do like 200 passing yards. And he wasn't even close. I'm like, dude,
yeah. Well, I think it was what 3-0 at half.
yeah,
Like, that
I
was a
hate
low scoring game.
I
Yeah,
hate those football games. But Alvin Kamara hit his over for rushing. He's a dog. He's gonna get the ball a lot. And even with how much he gets the ball, I was thinking, oh yeah, Derek Carr's got to throw 200 yards. He's been doing that. Clearing it. Didn't come close. So frustrating.
insane. The other NFL matchup I really like is the Rams against the Bears. All right, the Rams with without Puka Nakua and Cooper Cup just upset and came back and won against the 49ers. last night. That was a crazy comeback. Injuries on both sides. I mean, obviously, 49ers didn't have CMC and Debo Samuel, but
Hmm.
um, I don't know. I don't know about either of these teams. Bears lost to the Colts. They lost to the Colts, right? No, they won.
No, the Bears ended up losing to the Colts, I believe.
Yeah, they lost to the Colts. Caleb Williams looked better. He had over 300 passing yards, which was impressive, but he did have what, two interceptions, I believe.
Yeah, he's still struggling in the game, and I'm like, oh, dude, like, yeah, he's still struggling pretty bad, dude. I actually was not enjoying watching Caleb Williams. You can just tell he's not comfortable out there. He doesn't really trust himself or believe in himself,
Yeah.
and I think he's worrying about. Maybe he's slightly worried about what happened with Bryce Young and the whole benching thing and being a number one overall pick. Could that happen to Caleb Williams? Could Caleb Williams get benched just like Bryce Young for being a number one overall pick?
And then here comes
He's
Tyson
feeling the pressure.
Bagent.
Yeah, he's feeling the pressure a little bit. You can just tell. Like, dude, I think he's got like 6 interceptions on the season, maybe more. I got to fact check that, but I'm pretty sure he's got 6 interceptions minimum. And what's also crazy is like I love the confidence in the guy, but telling your punter that you're not going to punt very much this season, and like you're now 1-2, and you won your first game barely in the season, and then you lost your last two. Like, oh man, that punter's been punted probably the most of anybody in the NFL right now. I don't
I
remember his
think
name. Like an Australian or something.
he's trying to manifest it or something, but
Yeah,
clearly
well,
it's not
I
working.
love the confidence. I do, but it's like, oh, dude, bro, like you're killing me with just the way like you're going about the team right now. Like you got to be able to back your talk up, especially as a rookie. Like I love the confidence, but there's a way you got to put it out there versus the way I think Caleb Williams did it, and I think the way he did it is almost like putting pressure on himself and his team.
Yep.
Truthfully,
No, 100%. I don't know how long this Caleb Williams hype will go on. I mean, I love Price Picks. They every single week they offer that promo where you can take Caleb Williams over point 0.5 passing yards. So
I'll lock
at
that in every
least,
time.
yeah, I'll lock that in. That's the one thing I'm confident in is taking over point 0.5 passing yards on Caleb Williams. Anything other than that, I'm absolutely staying away from it. But Sniper, there is one last NFL matchup I would love to chat about. It's Monday Night Football this upcoming week, and two really really good teams. It's the Seattle Seahawks, which I do have to mention they are 3-0 with my boy Geno Smith, um, and they're playing in Detroit against the Lions.
Wait,
Really really good.
did Gino write back? You think? Did he write
What was
back?
that?
Did Gino write back? I don't think he did. I don't think he's been writing back. 3-0.
You
Three
don't
and zero.
think so?
3-0. He ain't writing back. He's proving it to him. He's proving
DK
it.
Metcalf had a long bomb, 70-yard bomb. Did you see that, bro?
I
That
did, and I
that
picked
guy's got
that too.
wheels.
I picked that too on the Better app. I picked DK for a longest catch, and I picked Gino to have a good passing game. I just did not trust that Dolphins defense on the passing defense side, and you know what? I was right. They threw it all over him. Threw it all over him. Even though it was kind of frustrating the scoring for a little while in the game after the start that they had, but they were able to get most of what they wanted.
Yep. I don't know. I mean, shoot, there's a chance that they could win that division now. They're 3-0, and the 49ers, who were heavily favored, are 1-2. So I don't
Yeah.
know.
I
So
was
far, so
happy Rams
good.
won that game. I want to see 2 losses for Cardinals, Rams, and Niners. That was
Yeah.
good to see.
Um, so the lines right now are at plus 4.5 for the Seahawks. Are you rocking with the Seahawks, or you think their luck is going to end soon?
I'll be honest. I'll probably ride with them until They proved to me that I can't. I am confident. I mean, they're 3-0. They got confidence. They're healthy right now for the most part, except for Kenneth Walker not playing. But Charbonnet, their running back that's starting right now, is absolutely killing it. He had a great game last game. Ford Field, though, is not an easy feat to go play at. Um, but I don't like Jared Goff, and I'm not confident that he's going to do well against the Seattle defense, which they've proven that they're pretty tough right now. Mike McDonald is a defensive-minded coach, and they got weapons on defense at the coaching side as well as obviously personnel. And I love just how Ryan Grubb is running this offense right now. I mean, there's a reason why this Seattle team looks so different right now versus the last couple of years with Pete Carroll's group. Pete Carroll, you can just tell that they were kind of just like on their last tenure, and this younger group of Mike McDonald and Grubb coming in, like they're just firing away with things that they've been very successful at for the last however many years in their respective positions before. So I'm very confident the Seattle team this year is one of the top teams in the league.
They have kind of like Oklahoma State. They have like a phenomenal um, trio, or even what would you even call it? Four man. They got DK Metcalf, they got Tyler Lockett, and they have Smith and Jigba, and then you throw in a tight end like Noah Fant. It's like
Yeah.
you have so many good route runners that can catch the ball and get a lot of yards after the catch. So I feel like Geno Smith is similar to Brock Purdy, where like he's in the right system. All he has to do is not throw interceptions, don't turn the ball over, and get the ball from Geno Smith into like your star players like DK Metcalf, Smith and Jigba. But they look good. I probably would expect this game to be within a one touchdown score. I'm probably rocking with the Lions at home. I agree. I think it's a tough place to play, and I think playing in Detroit, I would probably rock with the home team. But I'm probably not going to bet on this game. I think either it could go either way for sure.
Yeah, I honestly think it could be a lower scoring game. Um, what's the over under for their points again?
Over 46 and a half.
Yeah, I think I could see both teams getting in the 20s, if not the late teens, as a final score. So I like the under on that.
The thing with both of these quarterbacks is you never know how they're going to show up. Like, is Geno Smith going to be the Geno Smith last week, or is he going to be the Geno Smith most of us know? Same thing with Jared Goff. Is Jared Goff going to be the Jared Goff that throws 250 plus passing yards, feeds the ball to Amon-Ra St. Brown for 100 yards, and then gives another 70 yards to Sam Laporta? Or is it going to be the Jared Goff we all know? Throws a pick or two, struggles to get the ball out of his hands, gets sacked a lot. Like, both of these guys have so much potential, but you just never know on Sunday, or in this case Monday, which version of those players are we going to get? Are we going to get the good ones? Or are we going to get the bum ones?
Yeah, I agree. I think Jared Goff just pisses me off. Watching that guy play football, I just want him to lose. Pisses me off. I can't stand him. And I like Amon-Ra St. Brown, though. And they have a good connection between those two guys. St. Brown gets a lot of catches during the game, so I'm usually pretty confident in Amon-Ra St. Brown to have good games. But, man, it's Jared Goff. He's been hitting his unders a lot last couple of games. He hasn't been that consistent to like really trust. But somehow the dude just gets it done. Like, he's been on teams where they just get it done, you know? So that's what kind of makes him annoying is like, it's like he's not that good, but somehow they get it done.
Yeah,
That's just
no,
my personal opinion. I'm just like, dude, that's where they frustrate the crap out of me, you know?
yeah, no,
But, yeah,
100%.
give me a good game.
Sweet. So before we wrap up, I know you got a little juicy parlay that maybe you're cooking up for our viewers. I got a little parlay that I have for the viewers as well. You
I
want to
love
go
it.
first, or do you want me to go first?
I want you to go first. Let's hear what you got.
All right. So this is going to be a four-leg parlay. All right. Um, I don't know what the odds are, but it's going to be juicy. So tail with me if you want. This is the Triple Locks four-leg parlay. First leg is going to be the Arizona Cardinals over Washington. They're playing at home. Next leg, it's going to be Houston over Jacksonville. That game is also at home. They got blown out by the Vikings, and I think Houston comes out hot with a big bounce back game. Next leg, you're gonna take the Jets over the Denver Broncos. Jets look phenomenal. That defense is gonna tear Bo Nix up. And the last leg is Thursday Night Football. I'm taking the Dallas Cowboys on the money line. So pair those four legs up, lock it in with me, ride with me, and should be a good weekend of NFL.
I love it. I love it. I'm going to do a 6-man player prop for you guys. You can do
Oh
this
yeah.
on the Better app, which I like to do for this type of correlation. But I'm going to take two guys from the New York Jets, Aaron Rodgers and Brees Hall. Aaron Rodgers to go over his passing yards, and then Brees Hall for the longest catch. Okay? Pair those guys up with the Vikings, 2-man, Sam Darnold over his passing yards, and Justin Jefferson. They've been connecting a ton. Some of these defenses just forget where to find these guys, and Justin Jefferson's gone. So I like that duo a ton right now. I've been hammering that. And then we got another 2-man. Okay, we're going to go. I have to scroll down and find it. I'm going to go with the Chiefs versus the Chargers. Okay, we're going to take Patrick Mahomes over on his passing yards, and we're going to take Rashee Rice for the longest catch. So pair those 6 guys up. I have no idea what their spreads are right now because it's too far out, but I know based on the defenses they're playing, they should absolutely hit their overs and passing yards for the QBs, and then the longest catch. These guys are pretty reliant on having a big play. So pair those
Money.
6 guys up. Let's get it. Let's get it.
I like it. That's probably a fat payout. So
Yeah,
I'll
that
probably
might, that might be like a 20x lowest. If anything, might be boosted. Might be boosted somehow.
money. No, I like it. I'll probably ride that with you. Better app is goaded for sure. Well, cool. You got anything else before we peace out?
Nah, man. But hey, thanks for those that are watching right now, staying to the end with us. This is episode 3 now of the Power Play Pod. Troop and I, once again, we live in different states, so we'll be doing most of these online unless we somehow have some visits in between our episodes where we visit each other. We'll obviously do them in person, but for now, we're definitely doing them online. Thanks for watching episode 3 of the Power Play Pod, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.